What's up, everybody? Welcome back to West Coast Popcast. It's your boys, West Coast Pop, your boy, the final boss. I'm here with Zach, the main man, and we're here for episode 3, the third week of Marvel's Secret Invasion. And as we all know now, the Skrulls are everywhere. This is a good episode. I thought it was very intense. We're going to get into it. If you're new to the channel, man, definitely hit the like button, subscribe button if you enjoy it. If you want to see more of this content, hit that like button, man. We got 3 more episodes to go, halfway point for this series. What else we got going on here? If you're new, we do a rating series. So at the end of the video, we'll rank it out of 5. So let us know your final score out of 5 in the comments below. Let's start with Zach. How you doing this week?
I'm good. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of summer movies out there. But Secret Invasion is doing my my summer at home viewing right now. That and I got The Bear on deck. So let us know what you're watching this summer at home. A lot of stuff coming on as well. Only Murders in the Building and just like that and a whole bunch more. So let us know in the comments what you're watching.
Yes, definitely let us know, man. It's been a cool few weeks here with Secret Invasion. A lot to look forward to. More videos on the channel. But let's get into it, Zach. We open up with Gaia being woken up. How do you feel about Gravik and all that?
There we go. I like it. I like that he knows. We talked about it last episode. Guy is playing everyone, so she can maybe gain control or help Talos. But he's on to her, and it's kind of scary to watch because again, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you want Emilia Clarke to stick around, and we'll talk about that at the end of the episode as well. But you feel tension now.
You do, and it's like I definitely feel that way. It feels like she's helping out her dad's side and Gravik's side, playing a little bit here and there. Still not sure whose side she really is on. She feels as close to Black Widow and being that super spy as you can get, I think.
She is, and the fact that we saw her do a couple things that we didn't actually see her do speaks volumes as to how she's playing both sides. But again, I just have to question, why is she on Gravik's side to begin with if she's helping Talos so much?
Exactly. And especially after Talos informed her that he murdered her mother, essentially.
Exactly. So there's a lot to play with here, but only 3 episodes left, so we'll see how they cover it.
Yeah, like I think me and Zach were talking about earlier, still a very slow build. I'm just really hoping for a nice, not rushed payoff. Super Skrulls coming in. That's an Avengers level villain, so I really want to know how they play it out. The other thing I have here, Gravik gave orders to 3 of his men actually, to go onto this ship, this submarine, and I believe the United Kingdom Navy. And one of the guys is the one that Emilia Clarke brought in the beginning. I'm still on the fence about his character because I feel like he's not fully on board with this murdering spree they want to do. He just wants to have a place to live. He just wants some comfort with his old people.
Yeah, I think he wants comfort, but he does want that, like, I don't say that I told you so, but he wants that whole that I was right and I was justified thing going on inside.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. What else are you picking up on this that you enjoyed from this episode, Zach?
I'll just touch on this really quick. They did. We're going to get back to. I just showed a slide, but we'll get to that. Gravik did lay down the thing that I thought he was going to start doing right now in the episode, but turning into Super Skrulls, he did bring it up. They said Super Skrulls.
Yes.
So that was one of the big things we left off with last episode that they are confirming. So they're moving ahead and not leaving too much concealed as opposed to who's on what side.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear them say it, get it in the MCU. The Super Skrulls are here, and I'm waiting for a little more action. That's the only thing with this episode. I'm waiting for just a little more action.
Yeah. Someone who's waiting for action, obviously he went up to space. Let's talk about this. The Ring was featured very prominently. I'm bringing this shit up. Sorry, I was swearing. Hey, Mr. Alpo, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good summer out there. This week was a hot one here in LA. Yes. They brought the Ring back in this episode. It was prominently shown. I didn't have time to get a screen grab, but it was shown. But we get more dialogue. Again, they're not leaving, just like saying Super Skrulls, stuff that we were guessing last episode is now left on the table for us to digest. The Mr. and the Mrs., they know who each other are. They know each other's stories leading up to this. There's no more surprises if Sam Jackson, if Nick Fury knows that she's a Skrull or not. He knows dang well it is. And we met their confrontation. She has her new face in the diner where he gets a cup of coffee and doesn't pay for it, but whatever. So that's all left out in the open for our parties to figure out again whose side they're on. But I got to bring this up. Last episode, where's your ring, Nick? Where's your ring? Walking around with no ring, Nick. Where's your ring? Yeah? Why you got a flip phone and I'm still on the S9 and burner phones? Thought we were married and we're
Yes,
on the same phone
sir.
plan. Why you got a new phone?
Yes, sir. Because it's not his woman no more, as we found
Mm,
out. She was super, super suspicious, and it made sense when she was breaking it down. Nick Fury's not the best husband. He disappears from time to time, doesn't show up,
you need
doesn't
a
come
pack of
home.
cigarettes. That's all right.
You know, but you can tell as she broke it down, he was gone for 5 years, not his fault. But the 3 years he was gone, didn't show up, and it was voluntary. Nah, she said, I became a different person. I became who I needed to be without you. And that confirmed to me all I needed to know. That's all I needed to hear.
That's right. Let's just talk about. I do not have a slide for the end of the episode, so let's just bring that up right now because it involves her. Because then we'll get into the rest of the episode. But she is on the phone with someone after she goes in, gets a lockbox, and pulls out a gun. So you have a theory on whose voice it is, and I'm just questioning why. I guess because you're married to Nick Fury, do you need to keep a regular ass gun in a very, very, very secure and fancy lockbox location?
So because I watched so many spy movies and shows, I was just immediately thinking, oh, and like a lot of cop shows, I was thinking like, is this gun tied to some murder case, and then she's gonna pull it out and frame somebody? It's like there has to be something more than just some regular ass gun. This is a high tech, secure area, and you're storing a gun there. It doesn't make sense because not something if you have a gun in your home, you want to get to it quickly in case you have an intruder. This
Right.
one seems like there's more to the story.
I'll take your word on that. Who do you think is the beyond the phone call there?
And then the phone call. If you guys listen closely, listen carefully, that sounds like none other than Kung Fu Kenny himself, Don Cheadle, Rhodey. I'm telling you, I heard his voice. I know his voice. Hotel Rwanda. That's Rhodey, my guy.
I didn't pick up on that. You did, so that's very good. So it's there. So if you rewatch the show, you notice and you pick it up. So nice job there. And also, again, not on the same phone plan as Fury. Her phone
Nope.
works in this enclosed, like it's a safe, it's a vault. There's no way my cell phone is getting reception in those walls. But again, she's on her own cell phone plan other than her husband.
Yeah, an own cell phone plan, own passcode. She's not telling this man nothing. And to,
Mm-mm.
to follow up with Rhodey, one last thing I want to add. When she called, she said, I want to speak to Gravik. He said, no, you speaking to me. Brushed her off instantly. So that tells me two things. So Rhodey, I think he's a Skrull. Also, it seems like he's a very high ranking official. I think he's like Gravik's second right hand man, it seems like, if he's that close.
He must be.
Yeah.
And
So,
I think we're going to get more involvement here as to the breakdown of Nick Fury as a character because of now his wife and Rhodey, and maybe even a resurgence of the old Nick Fury.
yeah. And it makes me think, too. So if we confirm Rhodey next week is a Skrull, will we actually see the real one? Will we confirm how long he's been a Skrull? There's a lot of things I want them to get answered, which it seems like they will.
Yeah, they are answering questions. You're right. They're answering questions almost like the next episode for every question that happens the week before. All right, let's see. What do I got next for a slide here? Oh, the meeting. We got the meeting that they talked about last episode with Talos and Gravik. It all seems nice. They go over to the paintings in the picture about people in charge. They're posing for pictures while everyone else
Yeah.
is getting bloody on the battlefield, and that's who Gravik sides with here. But then they meet up, and it is just it's a lot.
It is a lot. That was a very cool shot they did actually with all the people turning into Gravik and surrounding him and showing, okay, this is not just a normal area. You pretty much got set up. I'm in power. I'm in control. You're the former governor, the former leader. But this is my show now.
That's right. Again, being surrounded by other people in charge, you can see on the walls there other authority figures. So that just shows into more graphics imitating life here. So I'm just very curious as to how slowly they'll build up to the Super Skrull because he does have the extremist kind of portion in him right now as he pulls the knife that Talos
Yes.
put in his hands out.
Yes, I did catch that. I'm thinking. I was hoping they would show. I thought we were gonna get action this episode. I was hoping they would show exactly how he did it and how it infused with him, and maybe it doesn't work on some scrolls because it can't work for everybody. I feel like.
Right. I mean, you know, you see people in the gym. It works for some people. It doesn't work for others. Thankfully, I'm not one of them. But let me
The gun
talk about
show.
this. Let me talk about this really, really quick here. Why Shuts the Short TV show with Mr. Allpower? So I'm going to bring that into the fold on why they're slowly bringing this in with the Super Skulls and maybe it doesn't work on everyone. To what they're doing in that machine I think cost a lot of money visually.
Yeah.
And what they need to do with this show, if they did 10 or 12 episodes, especially with the top stars, Olivia Colman, Sam Jackson, everyone else, Don Cheadle, and it's costly. So 6 episodes is a nice budgetary number for them.
Yeah, that's true. I just hope again, I'm all for the pyro, I'm all for the action. We get a nice thing to close this out.
Yeah.
It's very spy heavy, very thriller heavy. I felt the intensity of this episode. I did. It was a very intense episode, especially the last maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll agree. This is the first episode where I started to feel like I didn't have to make myself feel like, oh man, who can I trust? Or
Yeah,
is this person going to die? So I like this. Another payoff too. Olivia Colman, 2 minutes maybe the scene was, and
yeah.
she's just so good. She's so good on screen.
I'm telling you, I think her and Sam Jackson got something going on in the past, man. Their banter is just too. I don't know. Something's there.
I agree. So again, we're looking at colors here. She has bright red on. Maybe there's reason for
Oh
that.
yeah,
No scroll colors I noticed on her,
yeah.
but you can see in the bottom left corner there, her wine bottle up front. It is the middle of the day. She's drinking wine. A looks like a Merlot. So that
Okay.
Merlot color with the scrolls and the green bottle. It is a purposely green bottle. A lot of reds come in green bottles, but they also come in like a couple other
We
colors.
got a
But it is
sommelier over
scroll
here.
color. Call me Scripps. It is a scroll color in the foreground of a shot. We all know, Knock, you've been on enough movies and projects to know
Yeah,
everything in a shot is in there for a reason.
yeah. It is, and with this scene too. I mean, you've seen a lot of deeper stuff in this scene. I was looking at the surface level where I was glad Olivia Colman's character got the one up back. She found Nick Fury's camera and kind of one up them a little bit. So I like that back and forth they have. No one's just getting the better of the other.
100%. Any scene that she's in is probably the best scene of the episode for me. Why do all girls sound British, Knock?
Because the British are taking over acting, man. They're everywhere.
They are.
The dude Gravik, I was actually telling a friend of mine this earlier because we were talking about the show. He was like something about just used a lot of the British phrases, British slangs in it, and all this other type of stuff. So I not the only one who felt that, Mr. All Power.
All right. All right. After that terrific scene, someone needs help, and that is Nick Fury. He's got a lead on a scroll
Ooh,
that's high up in the U.S. government. Well, later in this episode, him and Talos go get someone who's high up, but it's not in the U.S. government. So who's he talking about here? Is it Rhodey? Is it someone else? Is it Shooter McGavin on that Fox News show? We don't know who it is.
we don't. And two things here. I'm glad you brought up the whole U.S. government scroll because that backtracks to the last scene with Olivia Colman, where she said someone gave up her position when she was interrogating. That had to be a high level official to know where that is to get one up on her, even though she's seen it coming.
See, that is, but also was that Emil Clark's thing? Because that's what Gravik was getting at too, that he figured that out. So it kind of plays off into maybe that was Emil Clark's calling
Ooh,
and she's just
just
not aware of the intertwining backstabbing.
that's a good point too. Yeah, she's getting caught in her live webs here.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
then the second thing, real quick, I'll let you go. My
yeah.
bad. It was painful to see Nick Fury apologize, but I felt like he was struggling. This is the hardest thing he could do, and he got shot by the Winter Soldier.
I know. Like, I like Talos, but you're Talos. That's Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Also, if you go back to the Olivia Colman thing, she shuts a manila envelope very quickly. Did you pick up on anything that was in there? It looked like a couple people
Ooh,
that we've
I
already seen
didn't.
or very plain looking people.
That was very quick. I didn't catch that one.
Okay. Leave a comment if you figured it out, if you got some screenshots, if you surpassed your 600 or 800 tweets that you can see people tweet about, let us know.
That's another story.
Oh man, let me just say I get a lot of my slides on Twitter. It was tough to get slides for this episode. So
Oh
I looked so
gosh.
much. All right, but again, I do think this is talking about someone other than Bob.
Oh yeah.
Bob, who again, a nice callback to what you even mentioned back when we were talking about Captain Marvel. Nobody calls me Nick Bob.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad you put that one together. Exactly. They only got the short term memory. One thing with this scene. So it seemed like Bob, the guy, he was worried about his son getting killed. I don't know if he was playing the role or he actually cared because is the son a scroll as well, or is he just playing up that role of I got to be his dad, I got to act like I care.
I don't think. I think if you are a Skrull, even if it's halvesies, like if you're in a relationship and half the relationship is Skrull, I do believe that you're going to have a Skrull child.
Hmm.
So I think that's what the gene is in Skrulls because it's so like I don't say superior to humans, but I do believe it is a Skrull kid. So whether or not the wife is, I'm not sure. But
Okay.
this kid, you're gonna kill my dad. Just shut up and keep playing your F-Zero Need for Speed knockoff in the little closet that you're set up in for your little Twitch stream, asshole.
Yeah,
Like
this man
we
was on the
like
floor, man. I thought he was rich, man. I thought he would have a better setup than this.
right? Broke ass setup's better than his. But anyways, this is it. This is the setup. I don't have a screen of Bob, but it is a countdown to when a plane and a submarine
Yes.
collide.
Yes, very intense scene, man. The plane was getting in range of this sub, blowing it away. Um, I thought it was really good, man. Again, Nick and Fury and Talos, their banter back and forth, I thought was really good between the few episodes. And this one, they had to get serious and really get the job done, and it took a lot. They also, speaking of that, in the car, how do you feel about all these instances? We see Nick Fury have the upper hand on somebody. He's in control. He's in power. He knows stuff he shouldn't. And then Talos breaks it down, saying, "Hey, that was us. You had a whole network of us Skrulls, spies, feeding you information no one in the world would know. A lifetime of information."
So it plays up the fact that the Skrulls are more important than just this series lets on. So
Yeah,
it gives you information without doing like what a lot of comic or a lot of movies and TV shows will do. They'll put out a prequel comic. So it does that in a conversation rather than put that out. Um, Again, you can go back and watch, like we talked about Winter Soldier, when Nick Fury mentions his wife. You can kind of go back and be like, oh, maybe Skrulls did set that up, but I don't think it takes away from who Nick Fury is too much.
okay. Because I can see both sides. I still think I have to explain to other my friends I was telling about. Nick Fury is still that guy. Don't get me wrong. He got
Yeah.
helped out a lot. This is very great stuff to help move up the ranks. But he's still Nick Fury. There's still a lot of stuff he does on his own where he just has that wit about him and that smartness, that street smart or ability to. He's playing chess.
Yes.
And it also plays into the fact when you look back at these movies, like you said, you can look at Avengers. When Nick Fury gets his hands on a certain entity, he doesn't want to just let it go. He turns into a weapon. Why you want to turn Loki's scepter and the Tesseract into a weapon. These
Yep.
scrolls were promised a home for 30 years now. He said, I can't really let you guys go. You guys are too valuable. I'm turning it into a weapon to benefit, to greater good, I guess, in a sense, but it is to help him.
That's a good point. It is to help him, and that's kind of I think why his wife is jumping ship, especially after he left twice, one
Yeah.
of them willingly. So he gets the passcode. Talos gets the passcode from Gaia. It is my name, and that saves the day because why not? And that's it. So not too of a big climax here going into the finale of this episode until we get to the very end with Gaia.
Yes. Yes. We're not going to brush over that. The safe word in this episode was Zach's name. Hey, I don't know. But yeah, really, really good stuff here. And in the end, she couldn't get out clean. I thought she was taking her time to get out. Like she didn't just blow up her whole spot. Like she didn't get exposed. I thought she could have really, hustled, put the hustle in the bustle.
Secondly, maybe I should try that here in LA for parking. Just get a bike and put like half a tarp over it. Like, all right.
Oh man,
But
yeah,
she goes into like the woods and she's driving through. It must be their compound in the nuke plant or whatever that she's like driving away from. But yeah, right there, Gravik hits the lights. She tumbles down and she gets shot. She gets
yeah,
shot, and we hear the shapeshifting.
yeah. We did. We heard the shape shifting, but we didn't actually see it. A few things here before I ask you a very important question about this whole ending. So Gravik played her the entire time. He knew there was he had a suspicion the entire time, and he had this whole setup to find the spy, find the rat in the organization, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, so she gets caught, but I feel like she's smarter than this. To me, before I throw it to you, I see it as we had that one scene in the beginning where she discovers the lab, she sees what's going on. In the episode beforehand, she discovered what was actually happening and how it infused with people and the extremists. I think it was Groot. To me,
Yeah.
I think she has the healing ability. I think she infused with the extremists, and she has that healing ability, and she'll be okay.
Okay. Good
That
point.
that's what I'm thinking. How about you? Do you still think she's alive? You think there's any other way?
I was kind of thinking it was the person in the beginning of the episode with the three that went in and the one person that she brought into the fold.
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
But like she was very adamant on like I'm not turning around, you'll face me. It sounds like something her character would say.
it
So
does.
I'm leaning more into what you just said. So she must have found out some way to do it by herself. and figure things out that we might see later on, maybe in the beginning of the next episode when she gets up, because the car
Yeah,
just drove off.
it
So
did.
she changed back. We don't know where she was shot, and she could just be she could be fine. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's Amelia Clark. I know Game of Thrones kills people off every episode. This we are seeing Kobe Smulders, Maria Hill died first episode, but I just think Amelia Clark, you can't cut her this short. I think she's still alive. It was also a little bit out of character for Gravik to just shoot once and drive away. So I think this is the best way to have him get that ability one up on her, but her still survive. It's kind of like a no contest in wrestling.
Yeah, there you go. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't even Gravik. So
There's that too. So there's a lot to unpack here. I thought it was a solid episode. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Zach?
um, I think that is about it. So just coming up, if you can kind of guess on what's going to happen with the last three episodes, here's what's coming up. Craven for Sony, Loki season 2 in October as well. The Marvels in November, and Echo is going to be released in one day in November. So that's what's coming up. If you can find any ways that this ties into any of those shows, let us know. Otherwise, I do think this is going to be a good standalone series that won't take over too much of what's coming up in Marvel.
Yeah, I don't either, and I feel like the rollout of some of these, it's getting a little iffy. I'm very excited for Marvels. I hope it delivers. Echo, I feel like they're throwing that to the wolves, but I hope it has some meat on the bone.
I hope so too. I heard rumors from people that worked on the show that they're just kind of dumping it.
Yeah, that's kind of
So
what the vibe I'm getting, and it's disappointing because the MCU has been so strong with their content for so long. To now, we get to this post Endgame, and I've been doing a rewatch of the Marvel movies, and it's like you feel the drastic shift.
yeah, uh, it is a drastic shift, but I gotta say I'm still enjoying this. I like the
Same,
espionage,
same.
and again, this episode made me feel like I needed to try to figure out who I can actually trust.
Yeah, and that's what I really liked. Again, the intensity of it. Um, I'm gonna give it a better score than last week. I thought this actually might be my favorite episode of the series so far.
Nice. I agree. I'll give it a 3.7, just because they did a great job with Gravik. Gravik makes me feel like there's something bigger involved. We know he's going to turn into a Super Skrull, and again
Yeah,
with Emil Clark, there is something. I'm not going to look. They just showed a lot of stuff in the trailers for this. All
yeah,
right, let me just
exactly,
say we talked about
exactly.
Quantum Mania. Quantum Mania wasn't good in my opinion, but boy did the trailers make it seem like it was the next big Endgame movie. These trailers that Marvel's putting out, just heads up on what you put in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think we're good with Amelia Clark. Um, I'll give it a 3.8 out of 5. I don't want to just what up, but I can't quite give it a 4 yet, but I did enjoy it, so I'm gonna go with 3.8.
Okay,
Let us know
three more to
your
go.
yeah, let us know your scores in the chat below. We're gonna keep bringing these out. 3 more episodes to go, like Zach said. Really enjoyable series. MCU is here. MCU is back. I can't believe we put Craven on that last slide, but hey, Marvel is here. Zach, any final words before we sign them off?
Just keep commenting. Leave comments. You pick up things here and there. Keep commenting on any of the videos that we watch as well too, because we answer every single one. Doesn't even matter how old the video is.
No, it doesn't. So if you want to jump onto our tier list, to our champions videos, to any other live streams, our podcast that we hope to bring back very soon for you
Yes.
guys. This is Zach. This is Knock. West Coast Popcast is in the building. Peace out, y'all.